Well, hey there. Okay, so there's been a lot of excitement lately about latch hooking onto loom knitting projects, just like it's a old practice where people latch hooked rugs and they latch hooked onto crochet. And so any mesh piece you can latch hook on. But I didn't want to do latch hooking because I thought there has to be a way to just loom knit and loom knit fringes on. It'll look like latch hooking, but it isn't. It's fringes. So this is an Owl Eye Fringe project. Has nothing to do with latch hooking. Didn't use any latch hooking tools, only use loom knitting. Okay, so the benefit of that is if you want to loom knit and you don't want to latch hook, this is a way to do this kind of thing, because when you're latch hooking, you're doing the same kind of motions as you'd be doing with a crochet hook. And so for all the people that don't crochet anymore because they've got wrist problems, they're not going to want to be latch hooking a project. So I'm going to show you how to loom knit this. I worked it out and it's working perfect. I started out with some burgundy, blue, and gold, which are the colors I used, and I just put on each peg one of the different colors at the bottom so that the bottom contained all the colors. And then I did a bunch of rows of the yellowy gold color, and now I'm doing some rows of the blue color. And after I do the blue color and it's solid like the yellow, I will be doing burgundy, and so I'll have that look. And I'll decide as I go if I want to do any more of all the colors or if I just want to have that at the end. Okay, so the materials I'm using. The material I'm using for the loom knitting part here is this Cedar Boufflé. It says it's soft and light chunky, but they're pretty generous even calling it a light chunky. It's pretty much a worsted weight. And that's what you want for this project, a wide gauge loom and just worsted weight yarn. Okay. Anyway, this one is 42% cotton, 33% acrylic, 15 wool, and 10 nylon. And the color is shade, color 718, and it's black and white here. Okay, and then the color that I'm using for these three colors is Barocco Pirouette, and it's 41% baby alpaca, 41% merino wool, and 18% nylon. And it is a worsted weight yarn. And this is the blue. And I'm also using in this brand the burgundy and the gold. I got these all on sale, so I wanted to use them up. This is a good project to use up scraps because you could use all kinds of different colors and have this just a whole bunch of colors too of your scraps. Okay, so that's the yarn I'm using, and the loom hook I'm using is a loom hook I got from We Have a Handle on This. They're not making them anymore, but they will start making them again. And there are similar ones on Etsy. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at it, and as you can see, it's pretty thick and dense. It has a latch hook look, but it's not latch hooked. I'm actually loom knitting it as I go, and here's my loom knit piece here. If you wanted to, you could even use this side of it later. It's got all these colors loom knit right into it that you see on the outside of the project. Okay, so I'm going to show you the technique. So the cast on is just the crochet chain cast on, which I'm going to link on the video. And then I just did one row of owl eye to get started. So I would have cast on, and then I would have come back an owl eye, and then I'm ready to start into the project right away. And I started my project with all the colors, but you can start with any colors you want. Now you can also have the pieces you put in any length that you want. I did mine 8 inches long so that when I put them on, they're 4 inches long, the strands. And that's what I wanted for this project. And I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pegs. Okay, 14 pegs. So here you go. Here's what it looks like. I cut enough to do the whole row of these, and they're the 8 inches. And so what I'm doing with them is on the first row, after you cast on and come back an owl eye stitch, and you take this, and of course I'll be showing you how to do owl eye stitch anyway. So you take it, you do a slip knot, and all you do to do the slip knot is you just do this. Okay, make the loop, and that's what the loop looks like. One piece over the other. Okay, so you make that loop, but you can do the slip knot any way you want. But I'm going to make the loop and just put the working yarn through, and there I have a slip knot. Okay, and then I'm going to take the slip knot and put it over the first peg, just like that. And then I'm going to take the strands here and tighten them nice and tight. And then I'm just going to let them hang here. And that's all there is to it. I take another one, do a slip knot, put it on the next peg. And they don't have to be even when you put them on, because when you tighten them, you can make them more even just by the way you pull them. Okay, and then I'm going to put the next one on. I'm just going to do my slip knot and put it on. Okay, so I'm going to do that all the way down. So I'll put you on pause and we'll catch up when I've put on more of them. Okay, so I've got them on all the way to the end. Then after I've done that, I'm just going to take them and put them to the back like that. Pull them to the back. So I'm lifting up the yarn here so I can get this through and pull it right down. So here they are, pulled right down in front. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I pull them so they're right down in front. See how easy that is to add in? Just pull them down. The reason I'm putting them down now instead of after I knit them is it's a lot easier to put them down now and to keep the loom knitting tight. So I'm just getting them down and pulling them to make sure that they are staying nice and tight down here. Now this is going to be really secure when I knit it in because it's a slip knot, but because I'm going to knit it, it's going to stay very secure and never come out of your project. So that's a little bit nicer than latch hooking that can sometimes come undone. So it's got that benefit to it too. Now I wanted a stitch that would be long enough and meshy enough with the worsted weight yarn on the loom to give me just the right amount of the fringes for my project. Okay, now on this last one, I have to put it to the same side as I put the last one. Okay? And now they're all down here, and I'm just going to pull them down and see now I got another row of blue here. It's starting to get thicker. So it's on there. Now I'm going to take my working yarn and my loom hook here. And pull out some yarn to use here. Okay, I'm going to go over the first peg and I'm going to knit both pieces over. Okay, I'm going to go to the next peg, knit both pieces over, and come back over and go over 1 and 2. I'm doing owl eye. See, I told you it was an owl eye fringe scarf. Only stitch I'm going to do is owl eye. So I'm just going to keep doing owl eye as I go down, picking up the 2 strands here, coming over, picking up the next 2. And so you can see from how loose this is, it's good that I pulled it down when I did at the beginning. It makes it easier when you do it here. And I'm just going to keep doing owl eye all the way down the row. And because owl eye puts 2 stitches on every peg, it's a longer stitch. And I only put the new strands on when I'm on one side, so it's 2 stitches each way. So all the way to the end of the row. And then I just come back over the end peg, wrap back over it, keeping it loose, and wrap the next peg, come back over. Every peg you're on is peg 1, and you go over 1 and 2 when you're doing owl eye. This is just a actual very easy owl eye project. You'd think this would be a hard project, but it's not really. You're just cutting those fringes, putting them on, and then doing owl eye. Very easy. My yarn is tangling up on me. So I'm just going to do owl eye all the way back. And the last 2. Oop. There we go. And then I'm just going to leave the working yarn here because now I put on my next layer of fringes. Okay, and so that's all I do is I'm going to be doing blue for a while till I get it about as long as I did the yellow. But you can do them any length you want, put in any colors you want, put in a bunch of colors. It's totally up to you, and use any yarn you want. Okay, so then I take this, make the loop, put it on the first peg. Whoop, that was a bad one. Here we go, get through there. Trying to do it and look at what I'm doing to keep it in camera. And tighten it, and that's all I have to do is keep doing that. And then I'll knit it over again, tuck it under, and I'm just going to keep going so you know how to do it. So just keep going. That's all there is to it. It's going to be nice and straight, of course, because it's owl eye stitch, and this other side is going to be really nice. And have fun. Okay, so I've got a lot further down. I've got the yellow, blue, and the red up here. So I've done that much, and that will be a part I'll have hanging down. And then going behind the head, I wanted something nice and smooth, and that looked good with the scarf, because I wouldn't want to have all this stuff behind my head and getting tangled in my hair and stuff. So what I did here is I tripled up the yarn, and what I did was I just rolled it together. Here, I got it on here. I just did it on the spinner, 3 strands of the 3 colors, but often I just roll them up together into a ball, but I just did a gentle spinning to hold them together. And then I just did this in Owl Eye, and then here and there I just doubled up the black yarn, or the black and white yarn here. I used 2 strands of it because it's a little bit thicker, and then just put some strands in for interest and to go with the color that shows through here, so it just all goes together. So I'm going to show you how I changed the yarn, because people always ask me that. So when I did this row, I just changed the yarn to pick up the last of it when I wanted to change a color. So here I am, and I'm out of this yarn for the Owl Eye, so I'm going to use this yarn here. So what I do is I just knit over the last peg, so I have 1 stitch of the old color, and that was the black and white. When I was doing these, that would have been the old color there. And then I just take the new color. If it's the same color, then I just do that, and then I'm just going to put this color on with a slip knot. So I just do a slip knot, put it on. This is now the 2nd stitch on here, because I'm just going to knit this over, pull these tight, and go to the next stitch, and it's added in. And then I'm just going to do Owl Eye. So I'm just going to do Owl Eye for as long as I think that I need to go behind my head. And then after I do that, I'll probably put in, I might put in 1 more black strip. We'll see how long that is when I do it. And then I'll get back to doing more of the fringes. Okay, you want to see closer what this looks like? It looks pretty nice with those 3 colors mixed in, and the little bit of black. That makes all the colors go together better, I think. I really like it anyway. Okay, so I'll keep going for a while. We'll catch up and see what this looks like, and we will see you in a bit. Okay, so I finished how long I want this piece to be that goes behind my head. And now I'm putting in the fringes again, and you put them in exactly the same way, but we're doing it in reverse. So we have the red here, so I've added red. The next color will be the blue, and I've just started on the blue, and you do it just exactly the same as you did it on the other side, except you're going in reverse. And so I'm finally going to end with my yellow, and then all my colors again, where I put 1 of the colors on each peg. And that's how we're going to end it, and then come down to bind off. So you're going to be saying, well, how can you just keep doing it the same way and it's going to work? Well, it's going to work because you're just going to be brushing them the other way, that's all. And they're going to look exactly the same as long as you do it in reverse. See? It's going to come down with the red, then the blue. So you're just going to keep going. Okay? So you're just going to reverse the way you did it here. And it's easy. If you did some of the rows longer than others, you can actually just look and see. Here's where I added one. Here's where I added another one too, and then you look and you can see exactly how many rows you have of each color. And so you can do exactly the same thing on the other side so that it will hang down and they will be exactly the same. Okay, so keep doing that and you just do it exactly the same way. Okay, so I'll see you when we get down to where we're going to bind off. Okay, see you then. Okay, so I've got this now as long as I want it to be. So now I'm just going to bind off. Now I usually, with the chain cast on that I do, crochet chain, I do the one that matches. But with this, because you're not going to see it because the fringe is over it, it doesn't have to match. So I just need one that's the same stretchy. So what I'm going to do is the owl eye bind off, but you're welcome to use any bind off you want that's stretchy. Okay, so to do that, and as you see, I finished it the same way with these ones on the end with the colors where I have one on each peg. So yeah, you can see that it's just the other, it's the opposite of this. Red, blue, yellow, and then the other colors, and then red, blue, yellow, and the other colors. So, okay, so now both sides are the same, and I'm just going to bind off. Okay, so what I did after I put the last row on, of course, is I went over in a row and came back here, and then what I'm going to do is go over in a nice loose U-wrap. I'm going to take this stitch and move it over here, and then I'm going to knit it off. I'm going to come over it in a U-wrap, nice and loose, come back over it in another U-wrap, nice and loose, and then move that one over. Tighten it slightly, knit it over, then do a U-wrap over it, nice and loose, and another one over it, nice and loose. Come over to the next one, put it on, knit it over, come over it in a U-wrap, and another U-wrap. And then take it and put it on the next peg, over in a U-wrap, or knit it off, and then go over in the U-wrap, over in the U-wrap. And you just do that all the way along. Okay, taking it each time, moving it over, tightening it, knit it over, and then come over it in a U-wrap, come over it in another U-wrap. And then just before we take it over, we can look at it. As you see, it's a nice stretchy bind off. Okay, then we take it over to the next one, knit it over, come over in a U-wrap, come over in a U-wrap, and then I'm just going to move it over, put you on pause as I go along here. Well, maybe I won't put you on pause. It's really not that many here. Okay, so I knit it off, go over and over, come over. And you're going to keep this pretty loose. Knit it off, come over once, come over twice, over once, over twice. Now usually when I do the owl eye bind off, I do a row of purl right before, and I do that so it will sit up completely straight, but we're not going to see it, but then I just like the look better, and I have a cast on that matches it, so that's why I usually do it that way too. But just so you know, so we knit that over, and then 1 and 2 U-wraps, knit it over. So if you're doing a piece you want to do an owl bind off at the end, it's usually better to do a row of purl right before, just so it's facing exactly the way to match. Cast on. Okay. And then we take it off. And then we're just going to cut this yarn and put it through the loop. So I have to, oh, I found my scissors. I was going to say I have to find it, but there it is right there. There we go. So you just put it through the loop and tighten it. Not too much. And make sure you got some nice stretch here. And there you are, done. Now, take it off the loom. And now, what we want to do is, because these are all going down like this, we want this to go down. So we're going to slowly do that. Where we've pulled it up, we just have to make sure we pull them all down. And I just do that with my fingers, see? And down it's coming. Make sure that you pull them all down. So I'm going to put it out here and make sure these are all coming down. And there we go. That's what it looks like now. It's coming down. I'm just going to go out so you can see this a little better. Okay, make this bigger. And there's the one side here. And here's the other side. And let's say they're going over my head and they're coming down. And then they look just like this. Okay, do you see that? There they are. That going behind my neck. And then you just have a nice matching scarf here. And then the other thing you can do, so I'll put this up so you see what I'm going to do is when it's on around my neck, you can put this one here. That's why I wanted a shorter, wider scarf, and put this one here. And then you can put them together with a scarf pin or any kind of a pin, because you're not going to see it under the fluff, and you have a cowl. So that's all you have to do. So for the cowl, you're just going to bring it around. So here's your one piece. I'm going to show you how to do that. And you're going to bring this one around after it's behind your neck. And this is going this way. And you're going to have this one come in and then go this way, so that it's this side. So this is the end of it. We're going to turn it to the side. The end of it is this way on this one. And then you're going to attach them like that. That on top of that, see? And then you have a nice cowl. Okay, so that's all you have to do. With my picture, I'm going to take the pictures of it set up like a cowl and set up like a scarf, so you'll be able to see in the picture on the video. But I just wanted to show you how you would do that. And so where you would pin it is anywhere where you're going to pin them together. And you can use anything, like any kind of little clip or pin or anything, a scarf pin, anything really, just to hold them if you're going to do it as the cowl, and then when you let it go, you can wear it as the little scarf. So, and it'll look really, really cute with what you're wearing. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video, and this part to go around your neck is just going to be very comfy and nice, and your hair won't get caught in it. And I did it so it's long enough to go around my neck and then come down about that much in front, so that any hair that comes down in front here won't catch in it. So depending on the length of your hair, the length of who you're going to give it to, you can decide just how long you want this piece to be. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy making this. And if you want to, you have short hair, you could just do these all the way. You wouldn't have to do a piece like this. It's all up to you. Okay, so until next time. Bye.